got excited from hearing that intro because it's been a minute since we've gotten to catch up with Tanya, who is our official in-house movie critic here at SuperTalk, and we welcome her to good things, and we welcome the fact that movies are back, Tanya.
I know. It's about time, right?
Yeah, so what was it like for you? I mean, as a movie critic, you're obviously a movie lover. I mean, this is what you sort of got the chance to do. Everyone remembers you coming on Fridays and giving all the reviews for leading up to the weekend, and then the pandemic, and there's no movies. So what's that like for someone who goes all the time and then it got taken away?
I know. It was really hard. I really felt like a part of me was missing, you know. And what made it really bad for me is here in the metro area, we had 2 brand new theaters that opened right before the pandemic. And so it was like candy in front of a baby that they couldn't have. And I just would drive by and look and, you know, just wishing I could be inside.
Which we all know that, and we appreciate how they pivoted and brought us new content through all the streaming platforms. But man, there's just something about seeing a good movie in the whole movie experience.
I agree. Yeah. Just from the smells and just the extra stuff that you don't get at home, like all the previews and people's reactions around you. And so many of the great movies today are designed to be enjoyed with others. You know, it's a collective experience.
And we're glad that we're getting back to that. So what do you have for us? I guess, is it this upcoming weekend, or what have you been up to since you've had the doors open there and been able to go to the movies? Like,
yeah.
What you been watching?
I thought I'd catch us up on what, you know, maybe you've missed with theaters reopening if you haven't had a chance to get out yet. And then we'll talk about what's out this weekend, too. But I guess the biggest one is Black Widow. You know, Rhino and I have spent many hours talking about Marvel, and they're back. They're doing their thing, and it's great. I mean, I loved it. That's probably the last movie I saw. In fact, I saw it twice.
In the theater?
In the theater. So that's a great example of one that I feel like you do need to go check it out on the big screen because it's lots of great action. But we get to see Black Widow's story. It takes place right after Civil War, and where she's in hiding, and we get to see what happened to her during that period of time. We get to meet some new characters. She has a sister, and then if you're keeping up with all of the Marvel tie-in TV series, this movie actually kind of connects that. It has a little piece that connects with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then it also carries us farther into a new series coming out with Hawkeye. So lots of fun there. But the movie itself, I thought the plot was great. I thought the action was great. Scarlett Johansson. It made me, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Endgame, you might want to cut the dial down just a minute. But
you haven't seen it by now.
I know.
Yeah.
But it made me, you know, hurt even more that we lost her because she's such a great character, and I just really enjoyed getting to know her better.
So my Marvel story, Tanya, is I started with an Endgame in theater.
Wow.
My husband, anyway, and then when I was hooked, and then I had to go and I watched them almost backwards.
Yeah.
And so I don't recommend that because I was so emotional about all these people I didn't know anything about because the Endgame, and then I had to go back and sort of like catch up, and Ryan was like, this is a terrible idea. I'm like, well, I've ruined it now. So then I had to piecemeal it back together.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's a good thought because I always wondered, I was so attached to the characters, and that's just a testament to how great these movies are that you felt such a connection starting at the end.
It was, the Endgame really would tug at you, even if you didn't know any of the other sort of and then when you go back, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I really should have watched this from the beginning. But it's whatever perspective you're taking is your journey through the Marvel movies. And so I think they do a good job of trying to tie in and catch you up too.
Yeah, they do. They put those little hints in there if you did happen to miss, you know, a movie or a TV series. Because there's so many, it's kind of hard to keep up, you
Agreed.
know. Another movie that I went to see with my son, he's 12 and he's a big sports fan, and he could not wait for Space Jam, the new Space Jam movie. And of course, we've had to wait a year. It was supposed to be out last year. and they put it on hold, and so he loved it. He thought it was great. To me, if you like the first one, you're going to like this one. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just LeBron James instead of Michael Jordan. But it's funny. It's cute. For those of us that have been around a while, you'll enjoy the, looking at some of the old Warner Brothers characters that we've all grown up with. They make a little appearance, little cameos here and there. So it's a fun movie and a great one for the family.
Yeah, my daughter's got on me, when are we going to see it? When are we going to see it? And that's one I think you can get streaming, but I'm trying to give her the experience of getting back into, the theater too. So I've held off on letting her know we could see it on, I think it's HBO Max. You can see it right now.
Yeah.
If you wanted to. But yeah, being able to have that time. Her dad would probably love all of the old school characters too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then, some new voices like Zendaya voices Lola Bunny, so that's fun. I'm a big fan of hers. And then Don Cheadle is in it, who is also part of the Marvel Universe. And to me, that lends credit to the movie because he's such a great actor, And to be an athlete, LeBron James is a good actor. I mean, I don't know that this movie showcases his ability as much as some of the others that I've seen him in, but he does a good job. So those are probably the two biggest movies. I was so excited to see Black Widow do so well at the box office.
Well, people are just hungry for that action type and to get out there and see it.
Yeah, and the theaters are doing such a great job of keeping everybody safe and, keeping people separated. And so I feel like, if it's comfortable for you, you should feel safe going.
Are there any titles out there you're waiting on, Tanya, for them to come out?
Yeah, the one that I'm super excited is actually 2 weeks away, or no, a week from today. Jungle Cruise, based on the big ride at Disney. And I'm going to be honest, when they first talked about it, I thought, I wasn't super excited until I saw the trailer. And I'm such a big Emily Blunt fan, and she's in it along with Dwayne Johnson, who most people know as The Rock. And it just looks like it's going to be a fun movie and one that you really do need to go see on the big screen.
Again, to sort of get that sort of feel.
Yeah. So that one's next week. This weekend, if you're into action, there's a Snake Eyes is coming out. It's PG-13, and it is a G.I. Joe origin story. So sort of like Marvel's doing its thing, G.I. Joe is kind of getting into that game too. And Henry Golding is the star of this one. You may know him from Crazy Rich Asians and Last Christmas. He's kind of a new leading man. And in this one, we're going to see that he's actually good at action as well. His name has been mentioned quite a bit as being in the running to maybe be a new James Bond.
Ooh.
So we'll see. This movie definitely proves he can handle the action stuff. And then M. Night Shyamalan, who I love his movies. We know him, I guess the biggest one is Sixth Sense. He's got one coming out this weekend called
no thank
Old.
you.
I know.
Sorry, no thank you.
I saw the trailer and I was like really creeped out.
But if it's got anything like Sixth Sense, it'll have like the ending. You will wait till the ending and you'll be blown away.
Oh yeah, there will be a twist. You can count on that. But yeah, this one is like a family goes on this tropical holiday where they quickly age. So,
which if anybody's taking their whole family on a vacation, you come back aged anyway. But you don't typically age on the vacation. It's just whenever you feel like you get back. I've been looking for Top Gun 2. When is it?
Yes, it's going to be out Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have too much longer to wait.
I just hope he doesn't screw it up.
I know.
But I have a love-hate relationship with Tom Cruise, so I'm keeping my eye on that. I'm hoping that turns out halfway decent. Well, Tanya, welcome back to the saddle.
Thank you.
And so we will look forward to having you back on Fridays to set us up for our weekends. If you take any of Tanya's picks, be sure to let us know whether it was a yay or nay for you. But stick with us. We've got